school is not scam because education itself does not end within the four walls of a classroom.
Yeah, schooling, is it necessary or compulsory?
It is important. You are not going to put words into
another angle.
No, it is important. Why is it important? You understand? You see, I am not going to be pushed into a box. I catch you.
Welcome to Spark Creative Studios. My name is Spirit Philip and this is Tech Trends. Today we are going to be giving you back to back because we are going to be discussing on something that is very, very important in the society. So the topic for today is school na scam. Let me ask you, what is your view about that topic, school na scam? Is school truly scam or school is not a scam? Well, I'm not the only one in the studio today, and I'm having our daddy right here in the studio. I'm not going to unveil him to you right now, but after the break, you are going to know who is in the studio with us. Trust me, today it's really going to be hot because we need to say it as it is. Stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back, and I believe you are ready for what we have for you today. Alright, school na scam, is that true? First of all, put that in the comment section. Okay, so I'll be introducing to us today our daddy. I'm going to say it once again, and he's going to introduce himself to everybody. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Thank you very much, sir.
Come around.
Yeah.
Thank you. So my name is Dr. Charles Omotayo. I am a lecturer of history and diplomatic studies at the Yemi Federal University of Education, Ondo.
Wow. Wow. So we're having a doctor in history today. You know, it's not a joke again. Okay. So thank you very much for honoring our invitation, sir. All right. So there is this trending gist all over the town. Recently, if you notice, there has been a lot of controversy where some people are like, is it compulsory you go to school? And some people are like, okay, don't go to school. You will meet it in your future. So the theme itself, school na scam. What's your take about it?
You see, it depends on our understanding of the concept of school.
Okay.
You see, when people say school na scam, what comes to your mind is they are talking about the four walls of a classroom. They are talking about Western schooling. But even before the introduction of Western education in Africa, in Yoruba land, we have always had schools. You understand? So when people are saying school na scam, what they're actually saying is that going to a four-wall classroom, a Western style education, is scam. And why? They say these things because sometimes at the end of the day, they do not meet their expectations.
Yes,
you
because
understand?
Somebody like me, when I finished from school, I think I served and then we were collecting 98, and after then, I had to go start another thing.
That's the problem.
I finished.
The issue is because people expect magic. Someone like you cannot say school na scam. You can actually not say school na scam because whatever you had today is a total summation of the processes that you have passed through. If you look at those who say school na scam, please do a survey, do a general analysis, and look at those who say school na scam. You will discover that the demography of people who say school na scam are people from certain kind of schools. People who go to Afe Babalola University will never say school na scam.
Sorry to cut you, sir. Sorry
You
to
understand?
cut you, sir. The thing is, you know, every year we produce millions of graduates.
Who are the we?
The education system itself
Good.
produces millions of graduates.
Okay.
The next question is, so to what purpose does it amount to?
I ask you to.
You mentioned that I cannot say school na scam. I beg to disagree.
Okay.
Because I'm going to say, I can say, okay, school helped me, but I'm going to say more of grace than school because there are more people that are intelligent than me when we were in school. Hold on, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay, all right.
When I was in school, there were more people that were intelligent than me. They were more good and professional. You know, I was an average student. I'm not poor, and I'm not at the middle class, but I'm not the first.
Okay.
So I'm like at the second because I finished with second class upper. So I'm like at the second level. I know the people that were in the first. As I'm speaking, they are nowhere to be found.
Okay, let's start like this. Let me ask you a question. What is the purpose of schooling?
I think that's the question I want to bounce back to
Exactly
you, sir.
the point. You see, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
Okay.
We must start from the fundamentals. Why do we need school in the first instance?
Sorry to cut you, sir. An average African mentality. You know, the reason why we go to school, especially let me use Yoruba community, is because in the early 90s, so I didn't experience it. Once you finish from school, there's an automatic provision of like
It is
a
not
real
true.
a real life.
It is not
okay,
true.
I think you are from that
Yes,
age. Maybe you can.
Let me tell you this. It is not true.
Okay.
And it is not. You see, the problem is sometimes we do not necessarily understand the purpose of education. You understand? Education is not to give you job. The essence of education is not to give you job. You understand?
So what's the essence of
education? The
education?
essence of education is to empower you, to give you the necessary knowledge to make you a better person in whatever career, whatever endeavor that you choose to be. The era that you are talking about, that in the 90s, you see, the education of that era, let me tell you this, every generation has certain characteristics.
Okay.
Between 1960s and 1970, that generation was peculiar. And that was why in 1956, Obafemi Awolowo introduced free education. Why? He introduced free education because at that time, people were not willing to go to schools. The missionaries who came to Africa and brought Christianity, they also brought education. The purpose of education at that time was for them to understand the scriptures. Okay. You understand? So every generation, there is a purpose. And that time, people were going to school. Obafemi Awolowo introduced education, free education from primary school. Free feeding,
I heard about
free
that.
books, free clothing. It was a motivation for people at that time because people did not see the reason why they should go to school. So government gave them incentive. Go to school, you get paid. So we must face the reality that we are done with that era.
Okay, so
in this generation, what is the purpose of education? In this jet age, the purpose of education is to give you the requisite knowledge, skills, to push you into the 21st century. So it is people who do not get those skills that come around and say school na scam. You understand? School is not scam. Because education itself does not end within the four walls of a classroom.
Yes.
I can beat my chest and tell you, I'm a teacher. I have been teaching all
my life. Yes, that's why I brought
you understand? And I can tell you that no student passed through me and say school na scam. It's not just possible.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
From that to your point, that education is supposed to empower you. And now, talking about school generally is not scam. But in this, our geolocation is where the quote is coming from. Because of people's experiences. I finished as with second class in ADM College of Education in the Department of Finance. I initially planned, personally, I planned to attain my educational degree up to professor level. But I quit because of this same concept. Now, does Nigerian school actually gives you enough knowledge that is needed for you to meet up the marketplace? I'm going to use myself as an example. When I wanted to start before I started my master's, I was privileged to work with a TV station. So I'm a person that is more, I have interest in anything creativity, motion graphics. So I'm into 3D animation. I wanted to go and further into 3D animation in school. Then I decided to contact some of my guys. Okay, you are in Unimed, you are in this. Let me mention the name of the school so that they will not come and pick me up. So I contact like few top schools that are into, because only few schools do that course. I said, this and this, have they taught you in your school? He said, no. I said, this aspect of it, do you know it? I was like, so why would I go and waste my time in this school? Because all these things, I already know them. I've learned them myself practically online through. So we're talking about Nigerian school itself. Does it really produce the result we want?
I am not going to say yes, and I'm not going to say no. And the fact is that, you see, in every society, in every climate, even in the Western world, even in the US, Canada, and the UK, the educational system is not perfect.
Yes.
Over a period of time, their curriculum are subjected to reviews. You understand? Nigeria as a country also, our curriculum to some extent does not provide the necessary empowerment for this modern age. But that does not mean that we are not making progress. You understand?
Yes.
All schools in Nigeria follow a curriculum that is set by the government. And over sometimes the government reviews this curriculum. And of course, there are some challenges. There are some gatekeepers. There are some agencies that feel that, no, permit me to say this in Yoruba, you understand? There are people who are scared of change. But that does not mean that there are no few cases. I don't know if you are getting it.
Yeah, the point is few cases to the larger population.
But we are getting there. Because in this age and time, and that is why I keep saying that school is not scam, because education does not end within the four walls of a classroom. So what is expected? The school is expected to provide you that basic fundamental knowledge. Just like you have said, you did not get that fulfillment from the school, but somehow the inspiration and the idea was as a result of your encounters through the schooling system. What you do today, the explorations, the innovations, the so-called creativity that inspires you or that you yearn for were things that were motivated by the school system. So the school pushes you to want to yearn for more, pushes you into the internet space and the likes.
Okay. There is a concept of, there's a concept of people who drop out, and then they later become somebody in life. And then there's a concept of people who, keep struggling with learning and learning and learning. Now, we are trying to balance the place of education and the place of reality. Because nobody wants to waste their time in this age again. Maybe in just few minutes, what can you say about that?
The reasons why people drop out. Before we discuss the dropouts, you must understand that there are multidimensional reasons why people drop out.
Yes.
Most people drop out because of economic reasons. Lack of...
and some people also drop out because they could not meet up education.
Exactly. Which means that...
And they later become somebody in life.
It depends on your understanding of somebody. Sincerely.
Well, the definition of success in our society is once you are able to... You have enough money, you have enough wealth, and you can give out when it's needed, you become somebody in life.
How much is enough money?
Well...
How much is enough money?
Not much more.
That means that success is relative. What success means to you is different from what success means to me. There are people who, it is when they travel to the UK that they are successful.
Well, actually.
There are people who go to church and pray for their children to travel out. For them, that's the height of success. But for some of us, we go and we come. For some of us, we feel that it is when we inspire and motivate and add values to people's life. So, to the question, people will continue to drop out. And it is not only in Nigeria. It happens in the UK. It happens in America. And people drop out for so many reasons. Some for economic reasons. Some for bad influence. Some for low academic performance. And it will continue. But that they become successful in life is also determinant by the things they do while they were in school and the things they do afterwards.
Okay.
If somebody who has always been a dedicated young man, who has always seek for knowledge, even when you are not within the school system, you can seek for knowledge other means. There are other informal platforms and mechanisms of learning. If you cannot get a degree from the school, you can get it online. If you cannot get certain things in the school, you can get it. So the empowerment continues for those who knows what they want. So it boils down to personal ambition.
I'm going to accept 50%, and I'm going to disagree 50%. But for now, I think we need to go on a break because it's getting more intense. When we come back from the break, I still have some other questions to ask you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, welcome back, guys. This is still Spark Creative Studios, and we are still discussing on this same trending topic, school na scam. And our daddy is trying to defend the school because probably he's a lecturer or something. Okay, so we are still continuing on the point of dropout dilemma. Now, there's this guy, Bill Gates. I don't know if you've heard about his story.
Of course.
He's actually a major drop. They have to write to the parent that, see this one, Orieti daughter, permit me to use Yoruba. The meaning is that the head cannot carry book again. And he left school, but today he's the father of most invention, father of technology. So now, it still bounces back to the topic, school na scam. Are we going to say that school is just a place to build you up, or it's supposed to be a place to build you up and also give you the advantage over those who does not go to school. Because school is supposed to be, to me, school is supposed to be a place where what's inside of you is being brought out, and then it is empowered to bring out the reality of life. But in Nigeria today, it's not like that.
I think the issue here is that we need to conceptualize what it means to be a dropout. What does it mean to be a dropout?
Okay.
You understand? You see, when you say dropout, it simply means that that individual has not met the requirements for passing, which implies that the school sets an examination. And I can tell you for free that examination is not a true test of knowledge.
Yeah, but
so the case of Bill Gates, what it means was that, okay, we set exam, Bill Gates cannot pass. That does not make him a dullard. That does not make him a failure. So what the school does is that, whether we like it or not, the school gives us that opportunity to build ourselves. The school gives us that requisite knowledge. So the school system prepares you for life. It may not be perfect, of course. No system is perfect in the world. No system, no institution. But the school gives you that raw material to develop yourself, to nurture. Do you understand?
Yeah, but there's a way the society paints anyone who is a dropout.
Which society?
Our society.
Okay.
There's a way we paint. Once you hear that that person is a dropout, they're like, that one is not serious with life.
It is not about the dropout. You see, generally, every society does not applaud people who drops out.
Yes.
Every society applauds people who are finishers. You understand? That is why even in Yoruba cosmology, they say Ibere okinsho nishe afenitoba she dopin, which means that whatever you start, you must finish. Even when you learn crafts as an apprentice, when you start, you must finish. So every society encourages people to start something and finish. It is not peculiar to our society.
And then why do we now attach failure in life to people who fail in school? Whereas at the end of the day, they end up becoming more successful than those who we think succeed in school.
Even in the Western world that we talk about.
Yes.
You see, most times we emphasize and promote those who are actually successful. If you go to America, you will see that those who drop out and did not succeed are even more than those who succeeded. But you see, the Western media has a way of making us see that, Bill Gates drop out is a successful man today. For every Bill Gates that dropped out and succeeded, there are another 10 that did not succeed. But you'll never know them.
Yes,
so the point is not about you. It's not about the dropout. It's about the individual. Even in Nigeria today, there are people who dropped out and succeeded. It means that there is a catalyst in them. There is something in them that has pushed there. Even if it is 1 year you spent in the university, even if it is 1 year, what you have acquired in that 1 year is enough.
That means you are agreeing to the fact that school na scam, because you are trying to say that I can still leave school and still become something.
Of course, if along the line you see, there's one thing about life. If along the school is just a requirement, and that is why they call it. It is just a requirement. For whatever you want to do, you must understand human relations. For whatever you want to do, you must understand critical thinking. And that is why they call it, you see, in Nigeria, we have universal basic education.
Yes.
It means that whatever you want to do in Nigeria, at least you must have universal basic education. It is not just for yourself, it is for the society. Because if everybody, if some people acquires education and others do not acquire education, it is going to hinder the progress, the collective progress of the society. You understand?
Yes.
If you are the only wise man in your family, if you are the only educated person in your family, there's going to be a problem.
You are going to be like the boss.
You understand?
Technically.
So the education of the people is not for their personal benefit alone. It is also for the community benefit. All of us for our benefits.
Okay. I have one question, sir. And the question is for you personally.
Okay.
Schooling, is it necessary or compulsory?
It is important. You are not going to put words into
another angle.
No, it is important. It is important. Schooling is important. Why is it important? You understand? You see, I am not going to be pushed into a box. I catch you. I'm not going to be boxed into a corner.
Okay.
You understand? This argument of is it necessary, is it important, is it compulsory? You see, the necessity of it is that schooling is important. And when I say schooling is important, I am not necessarily talking about Western education.
Okay. Because the reason I'm asking
Mr. Spence, Mr. Spirit, see,
Okay.
I put this to you. You
All
understand? Right. You have a center and people come here to acquire skills.
Yes.
Is that not schooling?
It's a school.
So we must understand our mindset of schooling. So school is not scam.
Okay.
You may not
Nigerian school system, university. Let's put it straight.
Okay.
Let's talk reality.
All right.
Nigerian school system, is it compulsory or necessary?
It is important. You did find that in school, my brother.
Yes.
Do you realize that in your 4 years, it was not only fine art that you were doing?
Actually,
You
there's the
borrowed some
experience.
courses.
Yes.
You you borrowed some courses.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you
sir.
understand? I teach history in the university. There are students from the Department of Fine Arts who comes to my department to offer an elective course, a borrowed course on history of Africa. I teach history of Africa. Fine Arts students are coming to my department to study history of Africa. What do they need that for? They need the knowledge of the world, of the global space to understand. So you cannot say school na scam. Though they are in the university to do fine arts,
Okay,
but they are borrowing other courses.
Sorry to cut you. I
What
agree to
about
that.
use of English?
What about secondary school students?
Okay.
Why must I learn 16 subjects
For
to
that,
pass? To pass?
of course, for that,
Hey,
me
you'll be doing
myself,
economics, you'll be doing commerce, you'll be doing this, with that. We are scattering our brain already from teenage.
the fault is from the colonial system. You see,
Okay.
the educational structure.
Now you're
we-
accepting
Of
me.
course, there's a fault. The educational structure, I am not here to defend anything.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
just
No, we
being
have to
serious.
say
You
it.
understand? The educational system we inherited from the government, from the colonial government specifically, was an educational system that did not encourage critical thinking. Unfortunately, the post-colonial government that took over from the colonial government in the 1960s did not improve on that. So from that colonial period to the early 90s, we continued that monotonous pattern of education. Agberu, Gbeso, just go to school and pass
La crème,
examinations.
la peau.
Yes, people were not encouraged to think. But I
People
tell
are
you
not
that
learning.
lately things are changing. Though the change is slow, but people are changing. The curriculum is changing. If you go to some primary and secondary schools these days, they teach them data processing. They teach them introduction to technology. Things are changing gradually.
Well, because the reason why I asked that question is because of a trending controversy online.
Okay.
You know, recently I was just scrolling online, I think on Twitter, and then I saw this post of this guy, Pella,
Okay.
the popular TikTok guy, said he needs a PA. And the major requirement of his PA has to be a first-class graduate. He said, you have to be H1 Pal. He said, I need to see your result like this. That's to be. So, and then people were like, is this guy trying to put a slap on schooling? Or is it that he's trying to, there were a lot of controversy about that topic of discussion. So what do you have to say in that kind of scenario?
Well, within that context, for me, I'm going to look at, I know Pella very well. For me, I'm going to look at Pella as a brand and not an individual.
Okay.
You understand? You look at Pella as a brand, and whether we like it or not, Pella is one of the biggest brands, TikTokers in
Accepted,
Nigeria.
yeah.
You understand? So if Pella said he wants a first-class graduate, it actually shows, to me, that's what I choose. It shows that he appreciates the depth of knowledge. He may be someone who is not well educated, considering his grammatical expressions online. For him to now
We never
say,
even know his education
you
background.
understand? Of course, he went to secondary school. Pella went to secondary school. So for him to say now he wants a first-class graduate as his PA, it shows he appreciates the value of education and wants somebody that is knowledgeable to manage him. Do you know what a PA is?
Yes. I
So
understand you, sir.
he may have another motive.
Yeah. Now, I'm trying to concur to what you said, and then we are bringing back to this topic. Does that now not certify those who are still shouting that school? Most of them say school na scam because the reason for the concept is that you can actually get success outside school, and then still hire those who claim to go to school to work for you to still promote your success.
I agree.
So what's the position of school in the place of
success?
Exactly.
Success is relative, my brother. No, what success means to Dr. Charles Omotayo is quite different from what success means to Mr. Philip.
Okay.
It is quite different. And the earlier we realize that, the better. You understand? There are people who their ultimate definition of success is for them to relocate to Canada. There are people who their ultimate definition of success is for them to build houses.
Average Nigerian.
You understand? So we must begin to ask ourselves, what is success? And the relativity of a concept is subjective in itself. So for me now, it does not matter what you choose to do. You need education. How you now acquire that education, it depends on you. You may choose to go to a formal school. You may choose to go to an informal school.
Okay.
You may choose to acquire apprentice knowledge from the street. But education is important. And schooling also is important, because school does not make you a perfect product. School gives you a process. It refines a raw material and push you. You understand? So the school will help you discover, to some extent, your strengths and your weaknesses. And that is what we are saying. Now, Bill Gates that you use as a case study, it was the school that discovered his weakness in certain areas and made him realize that, okay, it seems I'm not good in this particular area. Let me focus on that. So whether we like it or not, the school system, with all its deficiencies, has some major plus.
Okay. I'm going to agree at this point.
Thank you.
Honestly. Because I don't know what to say again. But then, I'm going to put it to the audience. Guys, let's be realistic in the comment section. What do you have to say? Because there's a difference between education and schooling.
Of course.
Education is the process of acquiring knowledge, irrespective of whatever form of getting it. But schooling is the system where there's a structure. There's, just like where he's coming from, is a lecturer and is actively in both education and schooling. So guys, what do you think in the comment section? Because I have so many other questions, but we're out of time now. I want to believe in our next episode, you are going to be fully here when we invite you. So guys, thank you very much. Let's have your response in the comment. Do you agree to Dr. Charles that school is not a scam? School is important. I agree to that notion that school is important, but do you agree that school is not a scam? Let's have it in the comment section. This is still Tech Trends in Spark Creative Studios, and I still remain my name, Spirit Philip. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Till the next episode, I want you to stay good. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Also share it with other people that you think need to hear this podcast. We are still not done. We are still coming back in the next episode to explore more on the details about this topic. Thank you.